I get the idea. College and high school, it's supposed to be throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks, but that's not what it is. It ends up becoming this rote memorization of all of these different topics to pass tests, and then realizing that the real world bears no semblance to what you just did.
You, humans struggle in environments where they can't find meaning, and for adolescents, for kids, especially in the high school years, to be learning something that seems to have no applicability to anything that you want to do is soul crushing, and it turns you off of learning altogether. So I think that there's two problems there. There's connecting meaning to something that you need to learn. If you need to learn trigonometry, can you learn it in relation to there's something I want to build? I want to build a house, or I want to know where, you know, what are the shadows going to be cast on this house in if it was here in 38 BC, so that I could tell what, some writing from then was referring to, and relate it to a problem,
Mm-hmm.
a problem that you actually want to solve. And then you find the kids are very engaged learners. That kind of thing, when you catch their interest by attaching meaning to it, they will drill down on it. They will drive you to learn more about it. The problem is that is individualized to the child, to their personality, their interests, the way that they learn, the types of information that they respond to. Are they visual learners? Are they abstract learners? Are they good readers? Are they not? And in order to individualize it that way, obviously you can't have every child being homeschooled by an attentive parent who has all of the child development skills and the creativity to tailor a curriculum for them
Mm-hmm.
that is going to engage their imagination and blow their minds open and drive them towards learning. So how do you do that in a group environment? How do you
Mm-hmm.
do that in a
At
in an
scale.
institutionalized environment scale? That's the first problem. The second problem is that you have to inculcate in them from the beginning a sense that you can go out and define your own problems, and that you're learning all of this so that you become a creator and not a consumer.
Mm-hmm.
That you have the capability to do that. And I think that um, the way that education is structured now is it reinforces the idea that you are a consumer. You are a
Mm-hmm.
consumer of education, and then you will go out and you will do whatever you're channeled into, and you will be a consumer of other things, and not somebody that can decide after their accounting education that they're going to be writers on all these diverse topics, and that they're going to create amazing photographic art. That's You were fortunate, I think, in arriving at that kind of freedom on your own.
Yeah, I would say that there's this, and those are kind words, thank you. But I would say that there was like you were saying, like there has to be that drive of like when someone gets you pushed into a job that you don't necessarily want to do, there's that 1 or 2 hours, that time that you steal away, whatever you got to do to make something work, and that drive has to be present. And I think the only reason why Justin, Chris, and I were here was because you dislike something enough, you're going to put enough time into figuring out something else that works.
Yeah.
But I'm so curious, like, is there, so the way that I imagine like the future schoolroom, the future classroom is, can there not be this like, and this is a super dumbed down my own idiot's version of what this might look like, but I mean, can there not be a version of this where a physics teacher says, okay, put on your headsets, you have maybe glasses that have like a virtual kind of interface type thing. We're already there, we already have Oculus, we already have all those different things. Put on your glasses, and they show like a simulation of like, maybe it's a car that is running into the column of a bridge, and says, "Look, we're going to study force versus impact. Now, watching the collision, I want you to try and guess how much force this is connecting with. And basically showing the kids, like, this is how it translates. Now, this is why this is actually important. Now, I want you guys to actually restructure this and put in the right formula into this. Let's watch it back again. And then to actually make the adjustments necessary in the structure to have a different outcome of that car running into that thing, and to say, this is what engineers do. So as an engineer, your job is this. To bridge this gap between learning why the hell do I need to know the quadratic equation versus what that thing is actually applying to. And I think there's great, I don't know, to me, I imagine like virtual reality playing a big piece in this future classroom in helping to bridge that gap, but I don't know. So I'm curious
No,
what you think.
I think you're right. I think that's always been the promise of digital media, is that you will be able to visualize concepts better that you may have never impressed on somebody, the significance of calculus until you see it applied to a real world problem, right?
Yes.
Or, in the situation that you're talking about, can I go in and mess with some parameters in a simulation? Can I turn the speed down? Can I mess with the angle? And can I see exactly how that comes out in the results of the collision? Now that's cool. Now I kind of understand the inputs and I understand what comes out. Now I want to understand, how are those interacting? How are those, what is the math behind that? I think that those visualizations have been there, and I think that they can get better, and the democratization of game technology is helping with that. I think that things like
Goat Simulator.
I was going to say more like Google Stadia project, where a lot of this can be, all the heavy lifting on the rendering side can be done in the cloud and just streamed to a device that doesn't have to be, you don't have to have a $5,000 gaming computer to get that full immersive experience.